What's going on, everybody? Welcome to week 13 of Flex or Fade, where Ethan and I discuss a Saturday DraftKings main slate option and talk about a player that we like or dislike. Sometimes it's a little quirky. Sometimes it's just about some awful football players, but we talk about why we like him or dislike him and just at the end of the day, including them in our player pool or not. So we're talking quarterbacks on this rivalry weekend. Donovan Smith is a guy I'm flexing even after last week's little injury tweet fiasco where I swapped out of everything of him. But ultimately, I think he's about as good of a boom bust type play. And I think his upside is worth the risk. I think this game against Central Florida is going to be an incredible one, super high scoring. And just at the end of the day, I have a type, and it's rushing ability. 13 carries in 3 straight, 63 yards rushing in 3 straight. He's just quite honestly a bad quarterback. 7 interceptions in those 3 games, but he's gone for 30, 33, and 18 fantasy points. So I think at the 8,200 price tag, that's certainly worth it. I know Vegas is a little bit down on him in terms of the implied total is at 24, which I'd like to see higher, obviously. But who else is scoring on that team? Like Parker Jenkins might only see 8 carries, right? And I just don't see anybody else stealing touchdowns. So if they're going to score 3 touchdowns, I quite honestly think he scores all 3 of them. So I'm in on Donovan Smith. He caught a touchdown pass last weekend. He's going to run it 12 to 15 times at the least. And he, as bad as he is through the air, he always finds the end zone at least once or twice. So I'm interested in him. Ethan, tell everybody why you are not as interested in Donovan Smith this weekend.
Man, I'm going to fade wide receiver 1 Donovan Smith here. Mainly because of the highs are high, but the lows are just so low with Donovan Smith. I think getting him involved in the receiving game was a favor to him so that he can flash for the scouts, because there's not anything else that he's going to be doing at the next level if he is not able to transition to a different position. He's got the exciting college gameplay, but since that Texas game, his performance has really dropped off. At Kansas State, 13 of 28 for 88 yards, no touchdowns and an interception. Baylor, he had a nice game, 21 of 27, 236, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Cincinnati, though, 16 of 28, 102 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He has really just been all over the place the past 4 or 5 weeks. And I get that, we look for capitalizing off volatility when it comes to quarterbacks and when it comes to anybody in DFS. Capitalizing off of volatility is a big part of the game. But I think coming in and playing UCF this week, UCF has shown that they have the ability to shut down dual threat quarterbacks. We saw the way that they really limited Kansas through the air, 8 of 12 for 91 yards and a touchdown. Now, Devin Neal sliced and diced in that game, but, that's not the quarterback. So that's not Donovan Smith. West Virginia, Garrett Green was limited. 15 of 24 for 164 yards, no touchdowns through the air. And I believe that was CJ Donaldson's big game. And he was able to light him up for multiple touchdowns. But looking in for Donovan Smith this week, it just doesn't seem like a solid foundation to be spending up for. I know that there's a lot of value on this slate. 8,200 for a guy that can put up anywhere from, 40 to negative points is quite the range of outcome. And it's just not something that I feel like we need to go to this week. When you've got guys like John Reese Plumlee on there for cheaper, he does seem like a better option. And we'll also talk about later in our next Flex or Fade, another guy at that similar price point that I do think provides some more stability while still having a similar upside as well. So this week, I am fading Donovan Smith. We're curious what you guys have to say on the matter. What do you believe this Houston Cougars offense is going to be able to do against UCF? Either way, with the volatility in play, it should be a fun one. Again, it's either going to be really, really good or really, really bad with Donovan this week. So I hope it swings in your favor, and go out there, enjoy some football this week, guys, and make some money.